Okay, this is from Lermanet. Hubbard, the master stage hypnotist. By the way, hypnosis is used in black magic, in case you didn't know. Advertisement for Beyond Hypnosis, a book by Hugh Lacey, acknowledging the truth about Dianetics. I can't read that, you guys, so. What lies beyond hypnosis? From Fate, Science Fiction Magazine, June 1953, issue number 39, 39 significant, page 115. Excerpt Beyond Hypnosis, The Truth About Dianetics, by Hugh Lacey, 1952. This book presents a theory of hypnosis. The theory explains hypnosis and related phenomena and can be extended to embrace human thought and behavior. The theory is simple, which is the first requirement of a good hypothesis. It is demonstrable in a variety of ways and is strengthened by arguments taken from other theories. The theory makes use of the obvious. The simplicity of the basic concepts served heretofore to conceal them from view. Human behavior presents a spectacle so imponderable that imponderable solutions have been sought. Actually, accumulations of facts are only unmanageable until there is a pattern. Every school of thought has some fact as a basis, and a synthesis of those facts into a pattern is what I have attempted. This theme can hardly be attacked, even though it leads to assumptions, which will be attacked. However, assumptions are the substance of any hypothesis. They orient the line of further investigation, which is what makes them valuable. A workable hypothesis need not be correct. As long as it works, it is useful. It fails to work when it fails to explain facts under observation or to predict results. If a hypothesis does not explain all phenomena, that still does not preclude its usefulness with the sphere of its workability until something comes along that serves better. I do not say my theory explains all phenomena in question, since I do not know all the phenomena, but I believe it is the most embracive concept of how the mind operates, yet formulated. Chapter 1, The Theory. Hypnosis is not inexplicable, uncanny, or occult, and it is not abnormal. Hypnosis is a natural consequence of a specific application of definite and understandable laws. The laws hypnosis follow are not laws of hypnotism, but are the laws of thought. Hypnosis is the logical result of thinking when under a particular set of circumstances. There is no other way to think. End of excerpt. From the Webmaster. In hypnotism, a person's attention is directed onto an object, the swinging watch, the ticking metronome, or upon the voice of the hypnotist. Once this is done and the person's attention is fixed upon this one thing, all other things around the person may be caused to disappear, which is Dianetics and Scientology might be called by the key word clear. I have thought for years that Hubbard incorporated his mastery of stage hypnotism into the structure and teachings of Scientology. Arthur J. Cox's story of LRH's mastery of stage-type hypnotism from the Science Fiction Advertiser of July 1952. Pages 7 and 8 are reproduced here from the bottom of this image of an original document at lermanet.com. The text that it contains follows. Another person who had been hypnotized by Hubbard once was willing to participate in some investigation of what Hubbard did to folks he hypnotized. And a group of us journeyed over to his place for some hypnotic detective work. Nothing was discovered from him, but also, incidentally, Cook, who was doing the actual work, decided to warm up on my brother, who was a deep trance subject, and it was discovered that Hubbard had given him a post-hypnotic suggestion to meet him one day on a certain street corner. Hubbard had then apparently had him do various little tricks, such as being forced to hold his hands on a red-hot wooden railing, then patted him on the shoulder, laughing, and told him he could go home. May 11th, 1948 continued. Arthur Cox's account of LRH stage hypnosis tech from the Forrest J. Ackerman interview about the 29 April 1948 LRH stage hypnosis account. Sections reproduced below from the transcript. Forrest Ackerman was Ron's literary agent in the early days. Well, 45 years ago, there was established a Los Angeles Science Fiction Society. I'm a charter member. I was at the very first meeting, and I've been to 1,500 meetings off and on in between. It was a period when Ron came around our club. He was living in Los Angeles, and what I particularly remember about his appearances, there was an evening of spectacular hypnotism when hypnotized just about every kid in the club. I remember he gave one young man, what would you call it? In any event, the boy was convinced that, cupped in his hand, he held a little tiny kangaroo that was hopping around, and I remember he came over and showed me the kangaroo, to me. And one by one, Ron was hypnotizing everyone in the club. He gave one boy a post-hypnotic suggestion. I just want to jump in. This is practiced in black magic or dark occultism. He gave one boy a post-hypnotic suggestion. He said, now, I'll snap my fingers and bring you out of it. And about 3 minutes from now, you're going to hear the telephone ring. And you'll go over and someone will be making you a fantastic offer on a brand new automobile. But you're going to resist no matter how great the offer. You're going to come up with some reason that you can't accept it. So we were all trying to keep straight faces and see what was going to happen, and carrying on in a natural fashion. And then this boy with the post-hypnotic suggest looked kind of puzzled and looked over at the phone, which of course wasn't ringing. And he went over and he took it off the hook and seemed to be listening to a voice in his mind for a few minutes. Oh, really? A brand new cat? Never only driven 1 mile? Only $500? Yes. Gee, that I could have it for $350. Well, that certainly is a bargain, but gee, I only have $350 in the bank. Oh, you shaved off $150? I could have it for $350? Well, the only problem is that $350 is earmarked for a present for my mother. Well, yes, I suppose my mother would think I should have a brand new Cadillac instead of a present from her. That would make her happy, but then he got it down to where the invincible voice was going to give it away. He was, my teacher taught me never accept a gift unless you can return, or whatever it was, he kept coming up with all. We were all standing around holding our sides, trying to keep from being hysterical. And then Ron told the other boy, he said, well, now I'm going to bring you out of this. At some point, I'm just going to scratch the tip of my nose and snap. You'll go instantly to sleep. Well, everybody was so fascinated by Ron's performance that they clustered around him. And one mad moment, his nose itched, and he'd forgotten all about the special command. He kind of scratched his nose. I happened to be standing right behind this boy, instantly limp. He fell right into my arms. End of the text from image scan number 5 of Forrest Ackerman's typewritten notes. The point of including the above is just to illustrate that L. Ron Hubbard was a master stage hypnotist. I have long suspected that Hubbard's real bright idea to start Dianetics and Scientology to make money included his discovery of a means to incorporate standard stage hypnosis pattern and methodology into the text and structure of Scientology. But I could never really put my finger on the key to how he did this. It is fairly obvious to the casual investigator that in Dianetics he repeats the same idea over and over and over. You guys, what do I talk about with repetition? It's MK Ultra. Hypnosis, they all go hand in hand. Kind of like the news. The reason for the peculiar way Dianetics reads, the purpose of what appears to be a strange, repetitive style, is to deliver to you, the reader, his hypnotic commands. The first one you get is that you have a reactive mind. You are then convinced that this reactive mind is a source of everything evil in your life. It's my opinion, like my interpretation, that the reactive mind is your thoughts. I know there's more to it, but what better way to make your own thoughts the enemy? The true source of all your shortcomings, and that it contains blackness and pain called engrams. I think engrams are traumas, but engrams, and that you must get rid of your reactive mind. And he hooks you into thinking that now Dianetics can help you because Dianetics auditing therapy, which you purchase for a lot of money, is the only way to get rid of your reactive mind. You now have been hooked and start running around to tell all your friends about the little kangaroo hopping about in your hand. But your friends don't listen or think you are crazy. Then you walk into a Scientology organization where the conduct of all the persons there have been scripted by Hubbard himself. Previously, by Hubbard himself. By the book, by the book, by the book. I'm saying this on my own. Go to Scientology.com. Go to Scientology.com. Previously, to agree with your quest as a noble cause, as you get sent to the registrar for an interview, who is trained to extract the contents of your wallet, while all the staff admire their own little kangaroos that they have hopping around in their hand. To attain a suggestible trance state, stage hypnotists will often use a swinging shiny watch, or a ticking metronome, or some repetitive monotonous sound or device, or the hypnotist's own voice. The target's attention is directed to the voice or thing until the rest of the world disappears and he has entered a state of being hypnotized. The TR training routines assist this. This might also be called a stage of being willing to believe anything that you were told by source. Oh, by the way, you guys, little Ronnie, he called himself Source. Can you imagine the audacity? To me, Source is like, I mean, I don't believe in like a deity, but like it's the God energy, you know. Over and over in Scientology, you are told Ron is Source. He wrote the book I'm reading. If it is written, then it is true. A repeated Scientology idea. Ron is Source. He was a Navy hero. Ron is Source. His statue is in the hallway, 9-worded for Saddam Hussein, too. Ron is Source. His picture is on the wall. Ron is Source. Ron is Source. That phrase, that idea, is a ticking metronome, is a swinging watch. It's a voice on those tapes. All the false stories of L. Ron Hubbard's accomplishments is the sparkle and shine on that shiny swinging watch. Lies crafted with intent to hold your attention in contrived awe. Exactly 2 minutes after you stop reading this message, you will wake up and realize what has been done to you. Copyright 2003 Arnaldo Lerma. Another longtime member noticed the hypnotic effect. I was unaware at the time that every time I did TR0, I was going into a hypnotic trance state. Doesn't the Charlie Igloo Alpha have mind control programs? I only realized this years later after leaving the group when I read about hypnosis and experienced a trance state from a legitimate psychologist who did hypnosis on me. The state I was in then was identical to the state I was in when I did TR0. Monica Pignotti. King. Heber, please, caller. Mr. Jench, I'm trying to. Okay, I want to just say, this is King talking to Mr. Jench. Heber, please, caller. I'm trying to. Caller, give me one thing Scientology does. Yes, one thing. That's evil. First caller. What they do is hypnosis through their training routines. They teach people to shut down and become uncritical and passive and obedient, which... All right, stop there, Heber. Do you use hypnosis to keep people in the organization and non-critical? Absolutely not. The Cult Awareness Network, RAPES people, because they say they took a woman and AR'd her because they said she was a lesbian, so this was therapy. Hold it. Don't tell me about them. Tell me about you. Do you hypnotize people? I'll tell you about me. In Scientology? No, not at all. You do not use hypnosis? Okay. Listen, but just let me say, you're saying the caller is totally wrong? Steve Hassan makes a fortune off of kidnapping people. That's what he does, and that's what Whitfield does. Okay, Heber. Hold it, hold it, hold it. They kidnap people? Hold it, stop. That's the T word, Terrorist. The subject is Scientology. Mr. Whitfield, I've never kidnapped anyone. The subject is Scientology. That's the Terrorist, said Mr. Jench. He called them the T word. You guys know what that is. The subject is Scientology. He made a charge. You see how they deflect? He made a charge. I asked him to be specific. He said hypnosis to keep membership in. You say you do not use hypnosis? We de-hypnotize people, if anything, in life. And we can handle problems of people who have been hypnotized. Isn't Mr. Jench locked up now, you guys? All right. Were you hypnotized when you were a member, Jerry? I was. I didn't know it at the time. Wait a minute. I thought I wasn't. What do you mean you didn't know it? Because a person can be hypnotized without knowing that it's hypnosis. Just look around, everyone. Bah. I added that. How? They can be put into a hypnotic trance without being told that that's what it is. And that's the thing about it is. Yes, but a greater speaker can do that. That's right. Hitler hypnotized a crowd, but they weren't hypnotized. You guys know who Hitler hung around, right? But they followed his suggestions. They were moved. They believed. They voted. They followed. They followed his suggestions? But a political speaker could hypnotize a group. It's not a fair term to say. It's mass hypnosis. It's not. It's done one-on-one. With the Army, do you do the same thing? It's done on the one-on-one drills in Scientology. And I didn't know that until 5 years after I left Scientology. And it's deceptive, and they deny it. Most of the people who deny it do not know what hypnosis is. They do not know what a trance is. If they did that, would you give up your post? Reverend Sills, if it was documented that Scientologists or any group, King, if it was documented that Scientologists, any group used, Reverend, Sills was involved in hypnosis, I would go after them myself. Okay. Oh, this is is this a pretend reverend from Scientology? Mr. Whitfield, Don, we should talk. Lancaster, hello. Mr. Jench, yes, and I'll go after the hypnosis and the Cult Awareness Network. They are the hypnotists in life. Larry, look, they're making a lot of money doing this stuff. What does that sound like, a money grab? King, Lisa, were you hypnotized? Mr. Halverson, yes. Oh, Miss Halverson, yes. Mr. Jench, a lot of money? King, Lisa? Miss Halverson, absolutely. Mr. Jench, a lot of money. All Jench keeps talking about is the money. He don't want to hear it. Miss Halverson, absolutely. The techniques of counseling and training in Scientology do have a hypnotic effect. That's why everybody's eyeballs look all crazy. No offense. L. Ron Hubbard was a master hypnotist. Most Scientologists haven't a clue that that's what's really going on. That was Larry King Live, May 1991. The Church of Scientology, Religious or Business. So I'll bet you those videos are still out there. To be or not to be? Okay. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. That's Hamlet. Sit down and think over the last spellbinder you heard on the platform, over the radio or on television. Were you listening to a man of reason, or to a hypnotist who aimed to limit your field of consciousness? You say you cannot be hypnotized against your will. Perhaps you were hypnotized last night as you listened to that political address over your TV. The most dangerous hypnotist may be the man you listened to last week over the radio. You were his subject. As a matter of fact, you were a very excellent subject. Think it over. George Estabrooks. George Estabrooks, who is also demonized by Scientology. Do you have any doubt as to why? I will leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.